Welcome to Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis. Guys, do you ever get up early in the morning and go out and play tennis in the cold, wearing a beanie, maybe gloves, and playing in the cold? And then you might have possibly left cans of balls in your trunk that's probably really cold. Well, unfortunately, it doesn't get that cold here, but I froze a can of balls, and we're going to try it today. Stay tuned. Hey, Coach Chris.
Hey,
You string tennis rackets?
that's right.
We'll make a little extra cash.
Sure.
You know, with direct tennis, you can be the official stringer of your own neighborhood. You can set the distance, you can set the meeting place, and you can set the timing.
So I can string on a street corner?
You can set your own place. It's all at Direct Tennis, where they put players with stringers and stringers with players. Check them out at directtennis.online. Link is below. All right, so it's kind of early in the morning out here. Sun's already peaked out, and Coach Rob's already teaching. I wanted to do this test because everybody talks about, a tennis ball being juiced up when it's hot, or people keeping warm rooms for tennis balls. So keeping the rubber warm so that it doesn't become super hard when you play with it, so that it actually bounces. Coach Rob is one of those people who, tries to keep his balls warm or changes them out to the Trinity balls so that they bounce in the early morning out here. It probably gets to about 35 to 40 degrees when he teaches his first lesson. So the balls are probably right around that range. So not horrible. But I wanted to do this test where I froze a can of balls. I put the whole can of balls in the freezer, 24 hours, and I took it out this morning and I threw it into my cooler here with ice in there. And hold on, let me get rid of some stuff first. Some drinks for us later. But, there we go. My tea. All right, so in here is a can of US Opens. And it's been under ice after I took it out of the freezer. So the plastic is still soft. I haven't cracked it. Ooh, that metal is very cold though. But I'm going to keep it cool. We're going to go out on the court with Coach Rob and crack it open on the court and play with it. So how does the cold affect the bounce of the ball? Even on a brand new can of balls. We'll see today. All right, stay tuned. All right, so Coach Rob doesn't know what I'm doing yet, but he will be surprised because he knows what happens. So Coach Rob, I was telling everybody that, we all complain about it being cold out, especially like your first lesson of the morning, and then these little honeys, cold, hard,
don't bounce too
balls. Like this is a
right. That's
US
why we
Open,
go with the Trinity.
Right, exactly what I told you.
Right.
So we're gonna put cold balls to the test today.
I already hit with some this morning. Do I have to go back and do it?
So
Start the sun's coming out.
I took this can of balls.
Uh-huh.
I froze them for 24 hours. I literally just took it out of the freezer and I kept it cold in ice.
Okay.
So it's been out of the freezer for literally less than an hour. Okay.
Okay. But it is still pressurized.
It's still. I didn't open them yet.
It's not like it's been.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
So
Okay.
So, but imagine everybody who leaves them in the trunk
Or the
in
garage.
cold weather. Yeah.
Right.
And then they go out and then they throw it into their trunk of the car, or it's in the trunk of their car. What happens, right?
Yeah, I can attest. Go cold.
Okay. Ready?
Fire away.
That ain't bad. Oh. Cold beer, anybody? Put these balls in there.
That's cold.
Let's see. Oh, what the?
Okay.
Wait. Get the.
Here's one
That's been-
this has been used, been open, and been in the basket for a while. So we have new, and we have old.
A little less on the
I'd
new.
say the brand new bounced a little less.
Whoa. So here's the interesting thing. This is the one I just took out of the can last. It hasn't bounced yet, and it's lower. This is warming up a bit, and it's a little higher. So maybe as it gets warmer.
As it gets warmer, yeah. But hence why later in the day, as the heat warms up, balls bounce a little bit more, yeah.
It's kind of coming around, though, already, I feel like. Let's hit them.
Okay.
All right. Ain't nobody going to play tennis worse than with some frozen balls. Coach Rob, why are we always talking about balls?
Because there's lots of different brands. There's lots of different, felt. They have some championship ones, extra duty, Penn, Dunlop, the whole Wilson, obviously, since we're holding them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a topic that comes up way more now that it's cold,
Yep.
at least where we are here.
Exactly.
And I think I've said this to Harry and
Feel
probably
that.
to some of you before. When it's below 50, they're not going to bounce too well. So I usually use the Trinities. And then when it's sunny and warm, switch baskets and go to the regular ball. Regular being yellow ball if you have yellow ball students. And they will bounce when it's over 50 degrees.
Right. So these balls today did the opposite of what a normal ball did. Usually you get a juiced up ball that's brand new flying for the first 10 minutes, 20 minutes, depending on the quality of the ball. Today, and then it goes through a dying process when you get a juiced up ball because it's brand new. Today it did the opposite. It was a dead ball and started picking up speed and getting juiced up.
As it warmed up.
As it warmed up.
Yeah. And so we hit with these for about an hour. And after that first, 10 minutes of the ball going not very high over the net and bouncing twice before each other, it got back to being normal. Now, obviously, the temperature had a lot to do with it. And as we played with it, it was warming up as we were hitting it. We were holding on to it. We kept it in our pocket. So
I think the pocket was the key. Like being in our pocket, our warm body was warming up the ball as time went by. Remember that tip I told you? Like if the ball needs to be kind of warmed up because it's not bouncing enough, put it in your pocket. Let it warm up with your body temperature. These definitely are soft now. It went from literally 0 to 50 in about 10 minutes. So
the other trick is if the balls are cold, put them in a dryer.
yeah.
You can throw them in the dryer and warm them up that way. There's another...
How about sitting on
I've never done that one. I'm not sure that would fly at home, but I've heard that one.
Your wife's going to get mad at you. You break that dryer.
I bring home enough ball fuzz. I don't need to
Create
my own at home in the
break
dryer.
a dryer.
Yeah, I don't need to break my dryer.
But yeah, no, like these were hard as rocks in the beginning. It was 0 degrees, and it went from 0 to 50. They played great towards the end. It played like a normal ball.
Right.
But this is kind of what happens when you storm somewhere where it's cold.
Your trunk, your garage. Yeah. And so one of the things that we had to do, at least I know I did, once we had to get back to hitting a rally, was I aimed the ball higher over the net, knowing it wasn't going to bounce very high. Because if I aimed it lower, it was going to two bounce you. So
yeah, we learned that really fast.
Elevate your shot and give your opponent a ball that he can hit back to you.
Yeah, it was amazing because I actually had time in the beginning. So it was kind of a nice little warm-up for me today. Because when we crack open new balls, your balls with juiced up balls will come and then come at me. Today was just, and then plop.
Correct. Exactly.
And then plop again. And I was like, oh, nice. I got time today. Maybe we should do this more often, Coach.
No, thanks. Did not feel great on the arm. Yeah.
Oh, that's true. It was a little hard.
It was a little hard.
A little hard. But guys, this is what happens to your balls when it's cold, okay?
So basically, don't leave them in the garage. Don't store them in your trunk. Keep them
in your tennis bag in the house.
In the house, yes.
Yeah. Where the heater's on and you're warm, your racket's warm, and the ball's warm. You know, Coach, I was thinking about freezing a racket with the strings in it next. What do you think of that?
Let someone else try that. So let somebody with a younger arm, who when they get tennis elbow.
Frozen racket. Will the racket crack? Ooh.
Which will the racket crack or your arm crack?
Yeah, that's true. I think Coach, this one's for Coach Chris. He's a doctor.
There you go. Yeah, and he's younger than both of us.
He can treat himself.
Right.
All right, guys. Try to prevent using cold balls, okay? Coach Rob, thank you so much for doing this test with me. I hope your arm's okay. Guys, thank you for watching Tennis Spin, where we put our spin on your tennis.